All right, I get it. I get it. I'm going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears with the new addition of Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 150 likes. I would appreciate that. The channel is growing quickly. So again, we're getting close to 13,000 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe if you're also new to the channel. I know some people may be mad that Justin Fields got traded and they're like, oh, they didn't give him enough of a chance. But like, let's be real. You got lucky enough for the Panthers to do so bad to where you got the #1 pick. You had Caleb Williams, who some people are calling a generational prospect. I think we throw that term around way too often. A generation is 15 to 20 years. We say generational every single draft, which is a bit frustrating. But Caleb Williams, I can understand the hype. He looks great. A lot of people are hating on him because he wears dresses and paints his nails, which obviously off the field, that doesn't look quote unquote mature according to scouts. But on the field, he's a baller, and that's all that matters to me. So Caleb Williams with the Bears, and a lot of people are going to be complaining and saying, oh, Justin Fields, he didn't get this, he didn't get that. It's like whenever you have Caleb Williams on the board and it's like you have all these new prospects, you got DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, a solid offensive line now. It used to be atrocious, not last year, but the year before that, I believe in season 2021 with the Bears, Justin Fields' offensive line was atrocious, but Caleb Williams is set up beautifully with the team. But I guarantee you, if Caleb Williams and the Bears don't make the playoffs in the first year, the excuses are going to be, oh, the defense isn't good enough, the coaching isn't good enough. There's always an excuse for some reason with these prospects. I think Caleb Williams is going to be great. He's put in a great offensive situation. I was surprised at pick #9 that they didn't pick Leatu Latu or Dallas Turner. I really think Montez Sweat would need some help on the other side, because if Montez Sweat goes down, this entire defensive line is atrociously bad. This is a horrible defense without Montez Sweat for the defensive line. Of course, getting Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, having him, and then re-signing Jalen Johnson was, of course, a great move for the Bears. Montez Sweat was great for the Bears as well once he got traded there. It was a good move for them. But yeah, again, if Montez Sweat gets injured, this entire defensive line will be terrible. Really, really bad. But still, there's some pieces that we need to fix on this team. Some of the interior offensive line is just lacking with Nate Davis and Shelton, but Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, and Darnell Wright are all nice pieces defensively. Again, other than Montez Sweat, the defensive line is bad. Getting the safeties Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard are nice. Tremaine Edmonds was getting him in free agency, what, 2 years ago? That was pretty nice. TJ Edwards is pretty underrated. And actually, Jack Sanborn, speaking of underrated, he's actually very underrated. I like him a lot as a player in real life. But for the Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze rebuild, let's see how we do at the midseason mark. At the midseason mark, we are 4-3, second in the division. The Lions are leading the division. That's actually to be expected. I can actually see these standings in real life. I don't know if JJ McCarthy will be that bad. I'm not a huge fan of him in real life. But according to the team ranks, our offensive passing game is #1 with Caleb Williams. Our offensive points per game is 8th. Our rushing game isn't crazy with DeAndre Swift. It's mid. But defensively, 19th. The defensive passing game is terrible, while the defensive rushing game is 19th, which is surprising considering how bad my defensive tackles are. But hey, I mean, 31st in the NFL for defensive passing doesn't seem right, but 4-3 with a rookie QB and a rookie wide receiver. I mean, of course, you got a veteran in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, but overall, seems to be a great start for Caleb Williams and the Bears. Scouting national focus, we have to fix the weakest position on the team, which is defensive tackle. And for the players who get to negotiate, Jalen Johnson got a contract in real life. I don't exactly know what it is. Sorry, you can't adjust the contracts in Madden unless you're in franchise. You can't actually adjust it within the roster itself. So I'm just going to pay him whatever this is. I know it was probably a bigger contract in real life, but he's re-signed with the team long term. This is all we have for the contracts throughout the entire year. That's surprising. $42 million left to spend, and of course, I don't have to pay out Caleb Williams in this 4-year, possibly 5-year rebuild, so that's great. Anyways, let's move in to the playoffs. Finishing 9-8 and missing the playoffs, and well, I was right. The defense is what prevents us from winning. Coming off a loss to the Packers, 21-14, which prevents us from making the playoffs, as the Packers actually steal the division from the Lions, 11-6. 9-8, I'm sure Caleb Williams will just start throwing a fit, paint his nails, and then blame the defense. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams, amazing in year #1, top 10 QB already, second best offense in the NFL, 22nd best defense. Where does he rank for yearly awards here? He ranks in 6th for league MVP in his rookie season. Amazing year from him. Actually, no. 17 interception is in his rookie year. I don't care if you have this many yards and this many touchdowns. 17 interceptions is not justifiable. That's terrible. Whenever Dak threw like 15 interceptions in a season, he was getting grilled. This is like with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. I know it's like, oh, he's a rookie, yada, yada, yada. I don't really care, dude. Dang, 17 interceptions is a lot. Hopefully he cleans that up throughout the rebuild, but it's a nice start for his touchdowns and his passing yards. 71% completion percentage is nice. The other percentage is going to interceptions. And then 106 pass rating. It's a nice pass rating, nice yards, nice touchdowns. 17 interceptions is kind of outrageous. But then DeAndre Swift with 15 touchdowns, only 3.8 per carry, 1,100 yards, but 15 touchdowns is nice. Keenan Allen with 104 receptions, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns as he continues to tear it up. Rome Odunze, 4 touchdowns, 1,100 yards in his rookie year is amazing. DJ Moore, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Gerald Everett with 4 touchdowns, 700 yards. I should have started Cole Kmet, but it's fine. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds, 145 tackles for a loss, 17 for Javon Dexter. My bad if I mispronounced that. Sacks, 7.5 for DeMarcus Walker. Surprised Montez Sweat didn't lead the team in sacks, only 6.5. Interceptions, 3 for Jalen Johnson. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Is actually not 0, my bad. 1 for Jaquan Brisker, 1 for Noah Sewell. I don't know who that is. And the Chiefs go for the 3-peat and win once again in the Super Bowl against the Eagles by 3 points again. 27-24. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins back-to-back league MVPs, and he also wins the Offensive Player of the Year. They got Puka Nacua for the Rookie of the Year for this. I mean, in simulation, they mix up the rookies, but still 17 interceptions from Caleb Williams. I doubt he would get the Rookie of the Year just because of that. Jared Verse gets the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Rams, though. In the NFC North, Patrick Scales retires. Is that our long snapper? For the team upgrades, I don't know why Caleb Williams gets Superstar X Factor. Does he win any awards? I mean, he has a Pro Bowl appearance. That's sick for him. So I guess X Factor for Caleb Williams. I don't know if 17 interceptions deserves X Factor. You know, I don't do this often. I know some Bears fans may be like, oh, you're wrong for doing this, yada, yada, yada. I don't do this often. I'm not giving him Superstar X Factor. I feel like that's not right. Even though he led the league in passing yards, he had a lot of touchdowns. Jameis Winston, keep in mind, Jameis Winston one year, I believe, led the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns, but he also led the league in interceptions. That doesn't mean you're a good player. I'm not trying to trash on Caleb Williams here, but 17 interceptions is not justifiable. If you had 17 interceptions in real life, there's no way EA is giving you X Factor. That's just me. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. If anyone deserves an upgrade at Dev, it's Rome Odunze for having 1,100 yards in his rookie season. I'm not going to give it to him, but just for now, I'm trying to keep the rebuild realistic. And I don't think that was realistic. So I'm going to move that down. Gerald Everett is going to move below Cole Kmet here. Defensively, any other upgrades? Tremaine Edmonds gets Superstar Dev. Jack Sanborn gets Star Dev. That's nice. Jalen Johnson gets Superstar Dev. That's cool as well. That's all the upgrades for the team. It was a nice first season. I think Caleb Williams will actually clean up that interception problem in the next season. Now that he's an 82 overall, probably will be an 83 by the start of next season. So let's move in to the re-signings. For the players ready to negotiate, literally only one person that I don't want here. We have $59 million to spend in free agency, so let's move into it. After free agency, I know this isn't much of a free agency with all the money that we had. We just got outbid by every other team. I just tried to sign some Band-Aid players as well. I really only need defensive line. I'm cool with my safeties. I'm cool with my linebacking core. Maybe some depth at defensive back would be nice. My offense seems good other than my center and my right guard. So AJ Epineza just as a temporary defensive end. In the first round, I'm at pick 16. I think I want another edge rusher to pair with Montez Sweat. Quincy Gray out of Ohio State, 6'4", 240. I know on a 4'3" defensive end, 240 seems kind of light, but I'm fine with it. He runs a 4.6, elite acceleration, good speed, great jumping. I think overall his skills aren't crazy here, but he has the athleticism. He's a first-round prospect. I'm going to take him. Hidden dev is important. Very balanced athleticism with the exception of the elite acceleration here. 6'4", 240. I don't really know too much about his skills again, but again, the athleticism is there, so that's why I took him. Round number 2, Kahari Gibson out of Vanderbilt. 6'2", 287, elite speed, good acceleration, F power moves, but A finesse moves, A hit power, A impact blocking. He looks pretty sick. He has hidden dev, 88 strength, 79 speed, 80 acceleration, 74 jumping. Very athletic defensive tackle, as you can tell, and I think he will be great as well. Jaron Farr out of Washington, 6'3", 295. I mean, our defensive line was a problem last year. I mean, in the team ranks it wasn't, but our overall defense was the problem. So I'm stacking defense here, stacking out the defensive line. Jaron Farr, almost 300 pounds, 6'3", elite speed, good acceleration, ran a 4.81. Here I was about to say 4.18. That's obviously impossible, but 4.81 4-8-1 here. I mean, over the time, maybe 4-1-8 is possible, but B awareness, B player X, B tackle, A finesse moves, B hit power, A injury. Both of my guys have F power moves, but it's fine. Jaron Farr, hidden dev, just as athletic really, and has the same amount of strength as the other guy. I just got him in the 3rd round, but lower awareness, so maybe a little bit lower overall. But our D-line seems to be filled out nicely now. Now, this is the team after the draft. I got this guy Colvin in the 4th round. I guess he's not good, so I didn't really do too much to help out the interior offensive line, but the offense wasn't the problem last year. It was clearly the defense that was the problem. Gibson is a 74, Farr is a 72, Quincy Gray is a 73. So overall, I think this defensive line is going to be really, really nice in the future. Obviously, they have to develop a little bit. Their overalls are pretty low, so maybe in this first year, the defense won't significantly improve, but long-term, it will. Getting Quincy Gray was a nice addition over AJ Epineza, who's on a 2-year deal. Everyone else looks good on the defense. Honestly, an 85 overall team is nice in our division. And then I don't really like how my new defensive tackles aren't at my rush defensive tackle. I guess I'll manually change that. Odunze is going to be in the slot. And I would rather just have Keenan Allen just play solely the number 1 position. And then offensively, I need to make sure Cole Kmet is starting. He is. Team looks great. Caleb Williams, hopefully you turn down the interceptions this year. Let's move into the midseason mark. 4-3 once again, this time 3rd in the division as J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings woke up. They're 5-2, top of the division. Packers are 2-5. Our defense just sucks again. I'm using the same defensive playbook as I always use, and it usually works, but my offense is an 87. My defense is an 87. My defense just sucks. It's terrible. For those of you guys saying, oh, it's because you have the rookies on the defensive line. Why is my defensive passing game terrible? I have superstar Kevin Byard. I have superstar Jalen Johnson. I have Tyreek Stevenson. I have Jaquan Brisker. Why is my defense so atrocious? I understand why my defensive rushing game can be bad because I have rookies on my defensive line. But overall, having that bad of a defense coming off a loss to the Packers too, giving them their 2nd win really sucks. Breakout running back. Let's see what we got. DeAndre Swift. Man, I'm upset about that loss last week. I mean, the Packers do own the Bears. I'm sure Bears fans are going to get upset about that, but evidently in simulation, it's correct and in real life. But hopefully we do get that X factor for DeAndre Swift. Let's see what the team re-signings are. Tevin Jenkins, I do want you back long-term. Let's just do a 4-year deal with him, player-friendly. He re-signs with the team. Jack Sanborn, I do want him back with the team. Around $6 million a year for a 75 overall seems kind of expensive, but I do want him here long-term. I'll give him a 5-year deal just because he's young and he has star depth. Khalil Herbert, he just doesn't want to be here. I wouldn't mind him as a backup running back, but he just doesn't want to pay state income tax. That's understandable. This guy at a Yale should be on a 4-year deal, so I'm going to change this. Ryan Bates, I don't want. Dante Pettis, I completely forgot about this guy. And then everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. For the scouting national focus, I think I'm just going to do interior offensive line to officially complete my offensive line. I know I accidentally just clicked offensive tackle there. My bad. Let me choose interior offensive line this time. Now, we're coming off a win to the Colts, 34-21. But did we get 150 rushing yards or 4 rushing touchdowns for Swift? That was embarrassing performance. Wow. Thank you for the opportunity, DeAndre Swift. But our team is now 5-3 after that win to the Colts. We are 2nd in the division. Let's move into the playoffs. 11-6, top of the division. The defense, I mean, it's mid at 16th in points per games, but our defensive rushing game is 32nd, which I actually improved my defensive line this year. I know they're still rookies, but they improved the overall defensive line, and it's worse than last year, which doesn't make sense. But we're 11-6, top of the division, coming off a solidifying win to the Lions, who completely fell off. They went 7-10, 27-21, beating out J.J. McCarthy, 11-6. Top of the division. Weekly awards here. Let's see what we have for the weekly awards. Caleb Williams, 3 passing touchdowns, got sacked once, 33 rushing yards, almost 300 total yards on the day. Great game for him against the Lions. Crucial game for him to take this division and get not a first round bye, but get home field advantage here against the 9-8 Eagles. Caleb Williams looks like a league MVP. Most in passing yards, runner up. He had the most passing yards, most passing touchdowns, and must be the interceptions. 3rd best offense in the NFL, 31st best defense. I mean, the interceptions aren't bad, but you led the league in, like, 10 interceptions is not bad at all. I mean, it's double digit, but still. Did Mahomes only throw, like, 2 picks? Led the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, had 111 passer rating. Let's see what Mahomes did. Let's compare this. Mahomes, yeah, he actually did only have 2 interceptions. Even though he had 3 less touchdowns, he probably had some rushing touchdowns as well. Actually had no rushing touchdowns. So Caleb Williams had 3 more passing touchdowns, but 7 more interceptions. And also Caleb Williams, rushing-wise, he had 3 more rushing. So he had a total of 6 more touchdowns, but he had 7 more interceptions. I would say Mahomes only throwing 2 picks. That's arguably, for Mahomes, that is the league MVP. But Caleb Williams, still an amazing season from him. I'm going to give him back his X factor now because this is runner-up for league MVP, which means he's a top 2 player in the league. He is number 2, unfortunately, here. But still, he's going to get an X factor for that. DeAndre Swift, 11 touchdowns, 4.2 per carry, 1,100 yards. He's doing great. Not even 300 attempts for him either. DJ Moore with 114 receptions, almost 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Amazing year for him. He's going to get an X factor. Odunze, 11 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. I'm going to give him superstar dev because this is a great season. Sometimes the AI just doesn't give players devs unless they're the starting role. Keenan Allen, 6 touchdowns, only 800 yards. I guess this is when his fall off starts. I mean, it's definitely not a bad year at all, but for an X factor as a 90 overall, I expect more. Tremaine Edmonds, 126 tackles for a loss, 14 for Quincy Gray, the rookie, and 8 sacks. Great rookie season with 76 tackles as well. Great sacks. 12 for Montez Sweat, 6 for Jaron Farr, the rookie, and Gibson, 2.5. I mean, Gibson was the starter over Farr, but I guess Jaron Farr is performing better. 4 interceptions for Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Johnson. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. This is going to be a really hard matchup between 99 overall Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, but can we beat them? We do not. 28-24. Let's move into the offseason. And the Ravens beat J.J. McCarthy in the Super Bowl as the Vikings are 0-5 in the Super Bowl now. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. Wow. Quincy Gray wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I was about to say, wow, we didn't get Offensive Rookie of the Year, but then I remembered I didn't draft offense. In the NFC North, Taylor Lewan and Harrison Smith both retire with a Super Bowl loss. For the team upgrades, Caleb Williams goes back up to X Factor. He deserves that. And then DJ Moore goes up to Superstar X Factor. Odunze just had back-to-back seasons, and he's only been in the league for 2 years with 1,100 yards, and he just got double-digit touchdowns. I think this is more than deserving for Superstar Dev, so I'm going to give it to him. This receiving core is so stacked for Caleb Williams. Maybe just need to fix these guys here. I mean, Nate Davis isn't that bad, but Shelton, I believe, is he regressing here? He is 30, so yeah, he'll start regressing within the next couple of years in Madden. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds gets Superstar X Factor. Jalen Johnson gets Superstar X Factor. Quincy Gray goes up to Superstar Dev because of the Rookie of the Year here. He actually gets... No, he comes with Superstar Dev. Wow. He didn't actually earn Superstar Dev. He just got 2-time Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know how you get 2-time Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I guess the AI gave it to him. So he comes with Superstar Dev, doesn't get an upgrade, but that's fine with me. I'm not going to upgrade him to an X Factor. Farr and Gibson both have star dev. That's cool with me. The team looks great. Just for some reason, I mean, the defense even looks great, but for some reason, we're ranking 31st in the NFL, which makes no sense. For the players ready to negotiate, Khalil Herbert doesn't want to be here. I don't want Ryan Bates, and everyone else here I'm just not interested in. So we can move into free agency with $68 million to spend. After free agency, I offered on superstar right guard Wyatt Teller, but he said no. But I got Tre'Davious Ward, who's a 93 overall superstar dev, and I got Michael Pierce on a 1-year temporary contract. So these guys will be huge in participating for our defensive overall. In the first round, picking up depth at middle linebacker because I really need nothing more than my defense just to perform. He's 6 foot, 235 out of Clemson, 88 speed, 90 acceleration. Obviously, as you can tell, he's very fast. Hidden dev, B zone coverage, B tackle. He's very balanced across the board. In round number 2, getting a new starting center, Dale O'Neal out of Georgia, 6'5", 291, hidden dev, 87 strength, 82 acceleration. B's across the board. He looks very balanced. With my next pick, I'm picking up a right guard, Josh Wheeler out of Florida, 6'3", 311, 90 strength as a rookie is great, 80 jumping, 83 acceleration, but 67 speed. I don't really know how that works. Hidden dev is what matters. A's and B's across the board. And in the 5th round, free safety Robert Barker out of USC, 6'2", 208, hidden dev, best player available, 87 speed, 88 agility, 85 acceleration, B hit power, B play rec, nothing special, but for a 5th round pick, that's nice. Now, this is the team moving into year number 3. Why is it moving Wheeler over to left guard? I guess I have to cut someone just because the AI is stupid. Okay, so that fixed it. Wheeler's going to start over Nate Davis just because he's young and I eventually don't have to give him a contract. He's a 72 overall. O'Neal is a 71 overall. Everyone here looks very nice. Surprised Rome Odunze is only an 81 by now. I believe he started at like a 76 overall with Star Dev. Swede is a 73 overall. Barker's is 66, but it doesn't matter. He has a dev. And then Jalen Johnson, I'm still going to start him because is he in a regression phase right now in Madden? No, he's only 26. He has X Factor. He'll still progress. Over Chardavius Ward, who's 29, and he is in the middle of his regression. But everyone else looks really good. I have a lot of depth here at defensive back. I have a nice line as well. I don't really see the problem with this team, especially the defense. The AI is just like, they're bad because we said so, and you can't really do anything about it. So hopefully the AI doesn't screw us here. I'm going to move Melton up, I guess. And then an 88 overall team, year number 3. We have yet to win a playoff game. Let's move into the midseason mark. 3-4, worst mid-season mark yet as JJ McCarthy continues to ball out. We're 6-1. Why does my defense suck? I have to switch something. It's getting so frustrating. This is always the scheme I use for my defense, base 4-3 Buffalo defense. So I'm switching to this. It's a 4-3 playbook from New Orleans, and it's specifically focused in the 4-6 defense. So I'm going to try that with New Orleans. It's getting frustrating. The Buffalo defense usually always works for me. I have a great defense. I know this. The AI just chooses not to acknowledge it, which is super frustrating. Scouting national focus, I literally need nothing but then my defense just to perform. So I guess I'm just going to do more depth at defensive back. For the players ready to negotiate, DJ Moore doesn't want to be here. He wants to be in a warm weather state. I have $110 million. I don't have to pay out my QB, so I'm just going to pay him a bag around $28 million a year, and he still says no. That's retarded. But DeAndre Swift does want to be here. I'll do a 4-year deal. He's 26 years old, $10 million a year. He resigns with the team. Jaquan Brisker doesn't want to be here because he doesn't like the scheme. I just changed it. I may change it at the end of the year if it's not working, so I may change it back. I'm going to wait on that. Braxton Jones, he just wants to be in Utah. I guess he wants to be back with the Mormons, but you're my franchise left tackle. You're not going there, so he re-signs with the team on an overpaid contract. Keenan Allen, he wants to be in a warm weather state. He just wants to go back to the Chargers, dude, so I guess I'll wait on that until he regresses because he's 33, about to be 34. TJ Edwards, he wants to be in a warm. Nobody wants to live in Chicago. That's the moral of the story. Guess I'll wait on him as well. Kevin Byard, he wants to be here. If he wants to be here, I'll give him a contract. He's a superstar dev. 2-year deal. He's going to stay for the rest of the rebuild. And then Kyler Gordon, what does he want? He wants a warm weather state. All right. Nobody just wants to be here. They want to live in Florida or California. Pretty frustrating. Gerald Everett, already have Cole Kmet. AJ Epinez, I don't need you anymore. Michael Pierce, don't need you. Nate Davis, I don't need you. Everyone else here, my punter should be here on a 4-year deal because the Bears drafted him in real life, so I'm going to change that contract. But yeah, the moral of the story is nobody wants to live in Illinois. I wouldn't either personally, but hey, these guys, you guys are millionaires and you're complaining. So anyways, let's move into the playoffs. 10-7, we make the playoffs. My defense is not as bad. Why is my passing game the worst in the league? Why is it 32nd? It's like, yeah, sure, the playbook is focused to stop the run, but people act like the Saints have a terrible passing defense. Well, I guess the AI acts like it. 32nd makes no sense with superstar Chardavius Ward, X Factor Jalen Johnson, superstar Kevin Byard, 91 overall defense, and it's 20th in the league. For what? I mean, we're coming off a win 28-7 against the Niners, and for some reason they get it over us, the home field advantage, because I guess they won their division, which I guess makes sense, but hopefully we can beat them in this wild card after beating them in week 18. Stats and awards, Caleb Williams looks amazing once again. 6th best offense in the NFL defensively, worst in the league for no reason. Caleb Williams is 3rd for league MVP behind Mahomes and Burrow. I'm just so frustrated with the defense in Madden. It makes no sense. Oh, you're not lining up the playbooks with the schemes. I am. I'm lining it up. I've played this game so many times. I have so many videos in franchise. It's literally just randomized at this point. Just if your offense is doing good, your defense is doing atrocious, and vice versa. It makes no sense in Madden, and I hate how the game doesn't even give you tips on how to fix it. Like, whenever you turn on tips in Madden, it does stupid stuff like, oh, this is where your X factor is. I don't care. Show me how to win, dude. Caleb Williams, 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 118 pass rating. His interceptions are going down every single year. He is improving, which is great to see. DeAndre Swift, 15 touchdowns, 4.3 per carry, almost 1,200 yards. He is improving every year as well, which is nice to see. DJ Moore, 104 receptions, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's nice. Rome Odunze, 8 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. Keenan Allen, again, for an X factor, this isn't crazy. I might not re-sign him if I don't have the money to, if he's going to keep giving me these numbers. Cole Kmet with 10 touchdowns, almost 700 yards. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds, 133 tackles for a loss, 15 for Montez Sweat, sacks, 11.5 for Montez Sweat. Gibson, the defensive tackle, with 9 touchdowns, and not touchdowns, 9 sacks and 12 tackles for a loss. He might get superstar dev because of that. Quincy Gray, 8.5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss. Michael Pierce, 11 tackles for a loss and 3 sacks and receptions. 2 for Tremaine Edmonds. Safeties on the team is 1 for Montez Sweat defensive touchdowns is 0. What I want to know is, why is my defense ranked the worst in the league whenever I literally held the Niners 92 overall offense to 7 points? Can we beat them here in the wild card? I hope so, since we beat them in week 18. We can. 42-21. Like, I'm holding the Niners offense to 21 points, and they're like, nah, your defense just sucks for no reason. But can we beat the Cowboys? Probably not, because they're gods in simulation. Wow, would you look at that? My defense allows 49 points. Wow. Anyway, so let's move into the offseason. And the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Yeah, sure, dude. Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl MVP. Not even realistic, because the Cowboys already said that they're going to be moving on from Dak in real life. Joe Burrow wins the the league MVP. He wishes he won a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Offensive Player of the Year, and there are no awards here for the Bears. In the NFC North, Preston Smith retires. For the team upgrades, both my offensive linemen are star dev, but Tevin Jenkins goes up to superstar dev, and there are no other actually, there is Cole Kmet, who is a superstar dev as well, but apart from that, there are no other upgrades on the offense. Defensively, from what I can see, nothing. Barker is a star dev, Swede is a star dev, but no actual upgrades. Surprised a defensive tackle gets 9 sacks, doesn't even get superstar dev. I think that was a great season. Even more tackles for a loss and sacks than my edge rusher, Quincy Gray. So he had a great year. 90 overall team, but it's not, my defense is 32nd for no reason. For the players who did to negotiate, DJ Moore, he led the team in literally everything for receiving wise, so huge contract, $30 million a year for him. Jaquan Brisker needs to stay as well. Doesn't like the scheme fit. I'm actually going to change the scheme fit. I don't know if it's going to be something that Jaquan Brisker doesn't like, but either way, I'm going to change it because it clearly didn't work. So I'm going to switch to a 4-3 cover 3 defense because it's forcing methodical drives, pass rushing up front so they can't bomb us over the top. Safeties unafraid to play aggressively. This defense will force the offense to sustain their drives with small gains. I like that. And I'm going to actually try out the Bengals playbook. 4-3 playbook focuses on generating pressure with the QB with the defensive line. This playbook includes the 4-6 formation. I mean, literally, this is the same description for every 4-3 playbook, but it is what it is. And Jaquan Brisker still doesn't like the scheme fit. Womp womp. Don't care. I'll just pay you extra money. He wants to test out free agency. He's going to be tagged. Darnell Wright, I'm going to accept his option. Keenan Allen, honestly, he hasn't been generating me much like numbers in the past couple of seasons, so I'm going to wait on his contract and prioritize others. TJ Edwards, he just doesn't want to be here. He's an 83 overall. I mean, do I sign him for the final year? I'll just do a 2-year contract, boost his money even more, see if he wants that. He resigns for another 2 years with the team. Kyler Gordon isn't bad depth, but I can just draft someone if he just doesn't want to be here that bad. AJ Epineza, Gerald Everett, Michael Pierce, Nate Davis. Everyone else here I don't want. So I'm going to tag Jaquan Brisker, and even though Keenan Allen isn't generating me much numbers, I'm going to give him a 2-year contract, overpay for him. I mean, realistically, after giving me back-to-back seasons under double-digit touchdowns and under 1,000 yards, he wouldn't be getting $24 million, but I'm going to do this anyways. He resigns. Jaquan Brisker, I'm going to tag him. Now I only have $4.9 million to spend, and all these other guys are going to walk to free agency. Obviously, it's not enough money to spend in free agency, so I'm just going to move into the draft. Ooh, Jalen Richards at a BYU. Mormon man here. 5'11", 185, A catching, A man coverage, B zone coverage. Obviously, man-to-man archetype, but very balanced having A man coverage and B zone coverage here. Good athleticism, elite acceleration across the board. F stamina is a bit worrying for a defensive back, but it is what it is. We're going to take him. And of course, why would the guy with the elite acceleration and very balanced coverage skills, have dev? That's totally wrong. It's like, oh, it's the F stamina. I guarantee you that's not going to be a problem in Madden. He's probably still going to have, I would assume, 85 stamina. Either way, normal dev isn't too much of a problem considering it's the 4th and final season and not much development is going to be needed. In round number 3, left outside linebacker depth, Will Hightower out of UCF. 6'3", 232, hidden dev, 85 speed, 87 acceleration. Not crazy on his skill chart, but overall not bad. Notice how I'm only picking defense throughout this rebuild because for some reason the AI thinks it's the worst in the league, which it's definitely not. This is the team moving into the 4th and final year. So far, we are 1-2 in the playoffs with Caleb Williams. It's surprising. It's literally just because of the defense as well, for no reason, as I always say. Hightower's only 63, so it's not really the best pick, but he has a dev. And then Richard, the guy that I picked up, 77 overall, no dev. 77 overall is a really good overall for a rookie, but no dev. is kind of ludicrous. Kevin Byard's down to an 86 without the boost. Team looks great overall, in my opinion. Gibson and Farr didn't really develop that far. Haha, I'm so funny. Gray, wasn't he an 83 at the start of last season? He didn't really progress that much, but it's a 90 overall team, and I know this entire time I didn't sign a mentor for Caleb Williams, which blows for his development, but at the same time, he's over a 90 overall X Factor. I don't think it matters, because especially with the fact that my defense was the problem throughout the entire rebuild, but sure, I'm going to sign Stafford for the final year just for good measure. 13-4, top the division, first round bye. My defense still sucks. If you guys have playbooks in the comments, let me know. Usually some people tell me like, oh, use the Giants playbook, and then they just completely suck for no reason. You need a playbook and a scheme to specifically work. I've tried so many things. It seems like it's always hit or miss. My offensive points per game is first. My offensive passing game is first. My rushing game is ninth. My defense sucks for no reason, but hey, it doesn't matter apparently, because we have a first round bye coming off a loss to the undefeated JJ McCarthy. I mean, he's 8-9 bottom of the division, but still, it doesn't matter. First round bye. Stats and awards. Caleb Williams finally looks like the league MVP. No, it's Dak Prescott, of course. You know, the most overpowered player in simulation for no reason. Best offense in the NFL. 29th best defense, again, for no reason. Caleb Williams, 4,800 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 receptions. This looks like literally a copy and paste of last season. 120 pass rating. Let's see what Dak did. Did he get like 3 interceptions? That wouldn't be very Dak-like. 4 interceptions. Yeah, sure. Let's go in a fantasy world where Dak Prescott has 4 interceptions. I'm sure someone's going to start pulling stats, being like, oh, Vic, you don't know anything. Dak Prescott, after his 15 interception season, had single-digit interceptions. You just don't know anything. Actually, I do know something, which is the Cowboys already said that they're not going to be having Dak in the 2025 season, so I don't even know why he's on the Cowboys at this point. I guess it's just Madden simulation, the AI. DeAndre Swift, baller, dude. That's X Factor. 24 touchdowns, 4.9 per carry, 1,500 yards. Great season from him. DJ Moore has 113 receptions, 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. Amazing year from him. Keenan Allen, 5 touchdowns and 900 yards. He hasn't produced a 1,000-yard season for us since his rookie year. I mean, this isn't a bad year, but is it worth paying him $24 million for this? Probably not. Odunze finally gets his first year with us under 1,000 yards. I guess DJ Moore hogged all the yards here, but 7 touchdowns, 900 yards isn't a bad season for him, especially since I'm not really paying him. Defensively, TJ Edwards, 131 tackles for a loss, 17 for Montez Sweat, sacks, 11 for Gibson, 5.5 for Sweat, 5.5 for Quincy Gray, interceptions, 4 for Jalen Johnson, safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Jalen Johnson, and 1 for Jaquan Brisker. Who will we be playing in the divisional round? Please don't let it be the Cowboys. I'm going to hop in regardless because we haven't made it past the divisional round yet. It's the Packers. I mean, Packers own us, so of course I have to hop into the... oh my gosh, please win. I accidentally did that. Damn it, dude. That's so frustrating. We can't even make it past the divisional round because my defense sucks. I'm going to try the Cincinnati playbook again. We're going to go back to base 4-3. This game is so frustrating. I'm going to do a year 5. I usually don't do a year 5, but the fact that I messed up that bad and the AI just bent me over and screwed me and the Packers own us once again frustrates me. I'm going to speed through this offseason, just get into the final year. The Jaguars beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Jeff Okudah on the Jaguars wins the Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP. Sure, dude. In the NFC North, Matthew Stafford retires as my mentor. It's not like it really did anything. For the team upgrades, DeAndre Swift gets X Factor as he should. Cole Kmet gets X Factor as well. That's nice. Defensively, what do we got? We're a 91 overall team. I switched into a 3-4 by accident. I meant to do a base 4-3. I'm sure some people mentioned it in the comments. There, I fixed it. Defense is back. And for the defensive upgrades, Kevin Byard gets Superstar X Factor, but he's still regressing because he's old and Madden makes no sense. And then the rest of the team looks the exact same. Tremaine Edmonds is here. I do want him back on the team. I'm just going to do player friendly here. He resigns. Odunze, I should have a 5th-year option on him, but I don't, which is pretty annoying. I'll accept the option on Quincy Gray. Chardavius Ward, like that was the year to win, and I just missed my window. I should have a 5th-year option on Odunze. If I change it, he's going to hit free agency anyways, but I'm just going to try it anyways. Okay, so he's not here anymore, but I'm sure he's still going to hit free agency because that's just how Madden works. And then, why is Jaquan Brisker here? Did I tag him? I did tag him. I'm going to have to tag him again. Tyreek Stevenson, I'm going to lose. And all these other extras I don't care about. So I'm just going to tank this Chardavius Ward contract so that way he doesn't accept. And then I'm going to finesse Jaquan Brisker here, do a player-friendly deal with him. He resigns on that. Finessing the system, getting Chardavius Ward back. I'm negative $25 million. This is the final year that I have to make it happen because then I have to pay Odunze and Caleb Williams, Tyreek Stevenson, Javon Dexter, and all these other guys are going to walk. Hopefully Rome Odunze isn't in free agency. If he is, I'm going to force him back on the team because realistically, I would have a 5th-year option with him. Rome Odunze is in free agency, so whatever team he signs to, it doesn't matter. He's coming back on my team because that's just what makes the rebuild realistic. So I lost Tyreek Stevenson, Juan Jowers here out of USF, 5'11", 197, elite agility, elite jumping, elite speed here, A man coverage, B zone coverage, very balanced. He looks great. Hidden dev this time, 95 speed, 90 acceleration, 5'11", 200 pounds. He looks great. Lloyd Baldwin, we lost Javon Dexter as a defensive tackle number 3. He doesn't look crazy. This guy looks better. Elite acceleration, elite strength, good speed, almost runs a 5 flat, A impacts blocking, A tackle, B block shooting, B play rec. Tim Chanton, of course, why would the guy with hella strength and hella acceleration have dev? You know, that's just so stupid, right, guys? Okay, 5th and final year. Hopefully the defense actually plays how it's supposed to. Caleb Williams is up to a 98 overall. He's supposed to win X Factor now. I got Rome Odunze back on the 5th-year option, so he still only has 1 more year left on his contract. This is the final year because I will have to pay Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, and I'll be screwed on cap, and I won't be able to pay either of them. Jowers is an 80 overall rookie. That is amazing to see. The depth at defensive back is great. D-line, again, didn't develop crazy. Petonio isn't that bad. Well, it's Chapman that we developed. Petonio we got in the last year's draft. Tim Chapman, he's a 75, great for rookie, just no dev, blows again. And defensively, this is what we got. Special teams wise, 70 overall punter, 78 overall kicker. That's nice to see. Everyone looks good. Specialist wise, Gibson and Jowers, sure, let's put him in the slot. You know, let's just change the pace, sure. Keenan Allen in the slot, let's see what he does. I always put him below Rome Odunze, but this is what we got for the team. It's a 92 overall. I'm going to be really frustrated if I screw this up again, or if the defense gets something that's not at least top 10. It's a top 10 defense. It should be ranked top 10. I have a 91 overall defense, and I'm sure the Rams, who have an 87 overall defense, will rank higher than me. But for now, 5th and final season, let's just move into the playoffs. 13-4 top the division. I mean, my defensive rush game is top 10. My points per game is 22nd. Defensive passing game, 31st. Great, guys. Really good. But coming off a blowout win, I mean, 2-score win to the Lions, 42-28. And the Vikings, I don't think they make the playoffs, do they? No, the Vikings do make the playoffs, actually. They are a 6th seed, though. Stats and awards, despite us having the first round bye, it doesn't matter. Caleb Williams, please finally have the league MVP. Finally deserving of the league MVP. He's going to be a 99 overall X Factor. 1st overall in offense, and 25th in defense to be expected. Almost 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. His first year, he had 17. He's progressed amazingly. 132 pass rating is astonishing. And then DeAndre Swift, 17 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, and then 1,300 yards is great. DJ Moore continuing to be a baller. 101 receptions, 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. I guess Keenan Allen just needed to be in the slot. 95 receptions, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Rome Odunze, past 2 years hasn't been crazy, but still 7 touchdowns, 800 yards. Cole Kmet, 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds, 132 tackles, tackles for a loss, 18 for Gibson, sacks. Only 6 for Gibson, 6 for Gray, 5 for Sweat. Wow, that's not impressive. 2 interceptions for Chardavius Ward. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, of course, I'm going to hop into this divisional round game. We're 1-3 in the playoffs because the AI just doesn't like us. I'm not losing to JJ McCarthy. I have a 93 overall team. If I lose to an 86 overall team, I'm going to go nuts, dude. Here we are against the Minnesota Vikings. 3 and out for them. We punt. We were on the 30-yard line. Why the hell did we punt when we were on the 30-yard line? I have a 78 overall kicker, dude. 6-0 start for the Vikings. We finally score a touchdown. 14-6, opening up the half. 14-14. Do not choke this. Run the ball. Literally just run the ball, please. I'm going to do it myself because I know the AI won't. 2nd down and 6. We're going to give this to DeAndre Swift. Power forward. Nice break off there. He's going to power forward for a 1st and 10. And yes, you know, I'm already going to drain this clock. 2nd down and 11. Right back to DeAndre Swift. Fullback block didn't really set up that well, but 3rd and 6, and they do take their first time out. 3rd and 6. I'm going to run play action, wait for something to happen. Y should be open on that edge there, and it's picked off because of me. No. So the Vikings get the ball now. I got to stop JJ McCarthy from getting in field goal range. 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings. They're seriously just going to run the ball. I mean, sure, that's fine. I'm going to take a timeout. 41 seconds left. They're going to punt us the ball back, and I have a chance to redeem myself. Let's get a good return here with my punt returner. Not bad. Caleb Williams actually has a really high speed rating, so I could just roll out, but I mean, Cole Kmet is wide open. Block in front of me. Please, DJ Moore. I guess not. I'm going to take a timeout. I'm going to run the ball. 1st and 10, right back to DeAndre Swift in field goal range. These are the blocks I needed before. Easy 1st and 10. They have iced us. Cario Santos on for the kick. It is up on the way down the middle, 17 to 14. And this was only the divisional round, but I didn't want the AI to screw me. I kind of screwed myself at the end there by throwing the pick, but it all worked out at the end. We're going to be moving on to the conference championship. If I didn't hop into that last game, I'm sure the AI would have screwed me, but we are a 93 overall team here to face the 87 overall Commanders. Ben Sinnott, the tight end, like the third round, fourth round pick for the Commanders, is an X factor now. That's interesting. Here we are against the Commanders. They're going to open up with 3 points. We're going to respond with 7. They're going to respond with 7. We're going to respond with another 7. Good start from the offense. Our defense won't be able to do anything, so the offense is going to have to carry 17, 17 and a half. We're going to open up with a touchdown because we got the ball at half, 24-24, 27-24. Do not choke. Run the ball. Run the ball. Offense. Red zone alert. I mean, sure, touchdown, we'll take it. We're back in the red zone again. That should be the game. AI should have just ran the ball out and chewed out the clock, but still, 37-24 win as we're going to be moving on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Bengals using their defensive playbook. Oh, but their defense is ranked 4th in the league. Okay, sure. Their defense is ranked so much better, even though I know my defensive overall is better than theirs. Yeah, sure, AI. Sure, dude. Frustrating ass game. Let's see the upgrades here. Defensively, we look the exact same. There are no upgrades. Oh, well, it's probably a different scheme, Vikk. I don't care. I have a better overall defense. I'm running the same defensive playbook as the Bengals, but they're 4th in defensive points per game. Mine is 22nd. They have an 88 overall defense. I have a 92 overall defense. Why is mine worse? Why is it worse? Nobody can explain it to me. Here we are against the Bengals. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with 7. They're going to strike right back with 3 here, not 7. They got very close, though. 14-10, taking our first lead of the game. 21-10. Nice spread there. 13-21, opening up the half with another 7. We need our offense to perform, and that's exactly what it's doing. 20-31. Now, since we get the ball back, run the ball. Run the ball. Whoa, I thought they were about to choke that. It's good. 38-27 against the Cincinnati Bengals, and we are finally going to end out this rebuild with a Super Bowl win. I was getting screwed so long for my defensive rank for literally no reason. I've used the Buffalo playbook throughout the most of the rebuild, but finally, we're going to win the Super Bowl here against the Cincinnati Bengals using their defensive playbook, even though it wasn't that good for us. Caleb Williams wins the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP. Finally, we're going to have a successful rebuild here after I hop in and actually make the difference in the Vikings game. I'm sure we would have lost that if I didn't hop in. We wouldn't even be here right now. But anyways, guys, thank you guys all for watching till the end of the video. I'm sorry it took 5 years to finally rebuild the team, but this will be a successful rebuild. Tell me down below in the comments which team you want me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.